like I mentioned, I'm using the same pattern for 2 different jumpsuits, and so to achieve that, I'm going to be making some alterations to accommodate the new pattern. I should first transfer to fabric first. So for the design I'm trying to create on this one, I am going to be placing this other fabric as a patchwork, kind of a patch on top of the other parts, okay, on top of this main fabric. And so to do that, to achieve this method, this is what I've decided to do. I merged our patterns together, as you can see, and then I have retraced the pattern as a whole on the main body, okay, as a main body. Now I am going to cut this out, and we will attach this only after we have attached these other pieces and made a hole out of them before we can attach this pattern on it. I just have to show you how I created this, okay. Now as you can see, this particular part, this dart will not be there. So when we are done attaching it, there's a probability that I'm going to be pressing and I'm going to be tracing out this dart from here on this top fabric, okay. So I'm going to just take out the pins, and I will cut it out, and then I'm going to cut out the patterns for these other ones, okay. This is it. So I marked where the bust, this is the bust line, this is the bust line, and this is the bust line. So I'm just going to retrace the line to get this part, okay. Now because what we have touched out is around the bust line, I feel like I should add 1/4 inch for joining it to the main that I'm going to use to sew it to the main fabric, okay. So I'm going to be including that as I'm cutting it out. Okay, so this aside, now I can now cut out the other patterns, which will be including this. And now I'm going to be cutting out this other patterns as well. Because of saving of time, I had to place the patterns on the fabric, and I've traced out the sewing allowances, the 1 inch on the sides, the 1/2 inch in the middle, the center side to join the bust area, and 1/4 inch on the armholes for the sleeve, and another 1/4 inch at the top for joining the top bodies to for joining the upper bodies to the yoke. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out this pattern now. So this is the complete pattern paper, as you see, and this is our sleeve. There's a sleeve. I had to cut it open so that we indicate where the front and the back is at the top over there, okay. So here, so next I'm going to go ahead and iron sew on this front bodies. So let's go ahead and do that, and then go straight to sewing. Lest I forget, there is another piece of paper, pattern that I have not cut out, and that's the puffy sleeve that's going to be on top of the main sleeve. So this puffy sleeve is just going to be one-sided. It's going to be on one side of the sleeve, and it's not going to be much. So to create that, I'm just going to show us real quick how I am going to create that. Okay, so basically this is all I need, okay. It is just this I need. Okay, so this is going to be gathering. I'm supposed to gather it like this to get this proof, and to achieve that I need this place to be thinner. So I'm just going to basically, using a free hand, and just make my lines like so. This is just to reduce this to a smaller part so that this place will be tinier for the purpose of what I'm doing. And I'm just going to cut this out. So this is it, and when I'm going to be running a straight stitch on this top. So when I gather this together, I am going to be getting the small poof that I need to add on one part of the sleeve. And note also, so this is the full length, it's quite long. Okay, note also that I cut this on fold. This is because there will be no sewing on of the edges, because it's going to be neat. So I'm concealing the wrong side. So I'm going to be running the stitch on the right side. Now that I've folded it, just run the stitch on the right side, and we'll be attaching it at the top of the sleeve. So if you have watched our series 2, the series 2, you will see where I also practiced this on the sleeve for the series 2. You can go ahead and check that out. The link will be in the description box below. So this is now our pattern complete. Okay, so I've transferred this trouser pattern to fabric, as you can see, and I've traced out all the sewing allowances. I have 1 inch on this side, 1 inch on this side, on the sides, and then if you look closely, I have 0.5, 0.6 around this place, and then I have 1 inch here for the back because the zip is going to be extended all the way to the waist, to the hip line. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out this pattern right now. Okay, so I also extended the full length by 1.5 inch that I'm going to be using to hem it, and this hemming is going to be with hemming gum. Alright, so here the pocket for the trouser part, of the jumpsuit. I've also cut out the pocket, and I added the same allowance I added on the side of the pocket. Okay, this is the side pocket, SP. The same allowance I added on the trouser part of the pocket of the jumpsuit, that is the same allowance I added on the pocket, because this pocket is going to be a part of the trouser part. Okay, and so the same 1/2 inch I added at the top of the trouser, I added it here. Then I have 1/2 inch here for sewing this other side of the pocket, the inner side of the pocket, and then all the way to this place. Okay, so just note that, and I have to fold this into 4 pieces. You need 2 pieces for each side of the pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out this pocket.